It's Morgan. I'm here. I've made it. I'm on time. It's 11:11. Make a wish. Okay, I take the first 10 people who ask for a reading. Not just if you say hi, because I can't do these readings without consent. You have to say, I want a reading. So let me go to the top here. Let's see what we got. All right. Hello, Alicia. Hello, TP. Debbie, I got you first. Debbie. Maya, hello. Good evening, Naina. Good evening, Divya. Catherine, I got you second. Catherine with a K and a Y. All right. Hello. Wait, comments are coming in hot. Okay. Hello, Cindy. Hello, Prima. Hello, Sumit. I got you third. Excellent. Hello, Holly. Glad you made it. I just did an incredible Reiki session with Holly, you guys. Oh my gosh. If you haven't experienced Reiki, even distance Reiki, whew, it's a journey. I highly recommend, specifically Holly, but if you have a Reiki master that you work with, now's a good time, I think. TP, I got you fifth. Hello, that symbol I can't pronounce. And I'm just gonna call you the 6 dashes. Is that yin or yang? Which earth, wind, mountain? Which which one is that? So whoever said hello and namaste, the 6 dashes, I got you. Chelsea, got you for number 7. And yes, hello, Vicky. That's funny. That's a fun typo. Hell, everyone. It's true. We are in hell. It's not so bad. It's not so bad. There's no hell. But if there were, I mean, the world is burning. Alicia, I got you number 8. And number 9, Maya, I got you. And then Divya, you are number 10. I do love that name. Does it mean light? Is that what Divya means? Am I remembering that correctly? Naina, I'm so sorry I didn't get you. Vicky, I'm sorry. Susan, Linda, Joanna, Prima, Sarah. Yes, I got my volunteers. Alicia, I got you on here. What did you mean before the dashes? Let me go back up here. Where are the dashes? And I don't see where you requested before the dashes. I see where you requested after the dashes. How do we contact you for a one-on-one? I love that question. I just love it. You can shoot me an email. I'm going to put it here in the comments. It's hi@splendid.yoga. You can join me in my circle, and I will post the link to how to schedule your own personal reading. I have 2 different types of readings that I do. I do readings with my Rumi Oracle cards here. This is the Rumi Oracle card deck by Alana Fairchild. And when I do a Rumi Oracle card deck, I do not do it live. I record the session, and then I send you the video, and then we can talk afterwards. You can message me if you have any additional questions. So if you want to do a psychic reading live, that's a different thing. So I will put both of those links in my circle. Go join my circle. If you search for the Splendid Yoga, just search for Splendid Yoga in the circles part of the app, and we'll pop right up. Come join us. I'll put all the links to how you can hire me. I love it when you guys hire me. Truly, I love working with you. It's so much fun. Linda, I don't see you before Divya. Wait, did I get you? No, I didn't get you in here. Let me see. Let me see what happened with you, Linda. Where did you go? I don't see you. Nope. I'm sorry, Linda. I had Divya. I had Divya before, yeah. So if you didn't get in the volunteers, come next week, get here right on time, say, I want a reading. Tell me, pull a card, please, something that lets me know you are consenting to volunteer. I take the first 10 volunteers, the first 10 comments that request a card. So otherwise, you guys get to hire me. Oh my gosh, it's way more powerful. Okay. Hi, everyone. Would you like to see my new toy? I went to this great place in LA yesterday. I live here in Los Angeles, and it was called the Flutter Experience. I'm going to be posting all about it on my social media. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm splendid.yoga on the gram and like everywhere in the social media world, because that's the name of my business. But I got this little drum, and it's been kind of fun. Not like playing it like I'm trying to play a song, but just playing it like I want to hear what it has to say. And I really love it. It means earth. Oh, good. That was one of the ones I guessed. I studied the I Ching, earth, so I knew it was one of those. All right. I do like that I am pulling a card for earth today. Alrighty, my dears. So, shall we do an intro? Hi, everyone. My name is Morgan Balavage. Splendid Yoga is my brand. Have I mentioned it enough? I'm a psychic. I'm a psychic and I'm an empath. Do you guys know the difference between psychics and empaths? Anyone can be either. We all have psychic abilities, and we all have the ability to be empathic. But if you're empathic, that means you've experienced trauma in your life that has given you the ability to create more mirror neurons than your average bear. And if you don't know what mirror neurons are, Google it, educate yourself. Mirror neurons are the part of your brain that sees something in the outside world and reflects it back. You become a mirror. You become a literal chameleon. Or as I used to say when I was little, I can go invisible. It's my superpower. It's a really fascinating neurological phenomenon that happens as a protective measure. So like if you grew up in, a violent household, then you would just learn how to read the energy of everyone in the room to know like when to run, when to protect yourself, or when to try to mirror back what to give this person to like calm them down, right? Which is a child dealing with a parent's inner child is so unhealthy and just pure trauma from start to finish. But it becomes a superpower as you begin to heal yourself. You learn how to turn it on and off and have boundaries. That's different from being psychic, which is being able to connect to your highest guides, to your intuition, and to be able to filter through all of the noise of the world and all of the noise of your ego to hear the important messages that will guide you to where you need to go for your deepest healing. Empaths is about survival, protection. Psychic work is about healing. Got it? Okay. Linda, you are an empath. Beautiful. Most people who end up here are empaths. As it turns out, most of us have experienced significant trauma. It's a tough world. It's here for us to heal. It's not punishment. You chose it. You chose everything that happened to you in your life. And if you don't own that, I can't help you. I can teach you how to own it. I can teach you how to step into your agency, your self-actualization, but you have to acknowledge, I chose it. You don't get to be a martyr in this life. Let's do these readings. Debbie, are you here? Do you want a general reading? There's Chelsea. Okay, it's Chelsea. That's funny. Your work reading. Debbie, how many weeks in a row have you asked now for a work reading? I feel like I've done this for you before. How many times have you asked for a work reading? Here's your card. The Cloak of Christ. A couple of times. What's changed? What different decisions have you made since you've started asking for this guidance? I'll read your poem in just a moment. In the school of humanity, when you become intimate with God, you reside on the King's throne and teach the angels the nature of the divine. Debbie, does your work make you feel like you're doing the work of God? When you show up for work, do you show up excited for what you get to do that day? When you show up for work, do you feel honored by what you get to do that day? Do you receive the same level of respect that you give to your work? If so, continue on. You got the cloak of Christ, you're protected. If you wake up exhausted, if you wake up dreading your day, if you don't feel you are being adequately compensated and therefore you feel like you're being exploited, that all is a cycle of suffering. If you wake up excited for your day, if you wake up energized, if you go to work and you're like, what do I get to do today? You're on the right path. Because that's what, Jesus was all about, having so much fun, you guys. Jesus had a blast. He had a blast here on this earth. He had some hard times. It wasn't all great, but we're all living the life of Christ. We're all living the life of our deepest healing, and we're all doing it for each other. If you don't recognize your own Christ self, I can't help you. You have to recognize that you are as worthy of love and honor as, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, whatever. He's one of them. He's one of our Lord and Saviors. But that energy, we're just anthropomorphizing the energy of God when we talk about Jesus Christ, okay? So when we talk about the cloak of Christ, it's a little easier sometimes for the brain to associate with God when it can put it into a human form. It's a very unevolved way of associating with spirituality, which is why I don't interact with it anymore on a religious standpoint. But I can interact with the energy of Jesus. I love the energy of Jesus. Jesus is my bro. He's with me all the time. But I use the word he, and it's like, it's not a person, it's not a dude. There was someone in the history of time who was called Jesus, but he was no different than you or I. He just listened to the call a little bit louder. Debbie says, I do insurance, but it feels like I'm helping people. Do you love the work that you're doing? Do you wake up excited to sit at a computer and sit on the phone? You are helping people. Absolutely. Then what are you looking for guidance on, babe? What do you need guidance on? Everything's fine. Okay. I hope that's helpful for you. That's all I got. That's all I got. If everything's great, why are you asking for help? All right. Ask yourself that question, Debbie. Catherine, you here? You here? We got Catherine with a K. Y'all can give me a follow if you feel like it. I love it when you give me a follow. If you hear some guidance that resonates with you, do me a favor. Hit that heart button so I know that I'm on the right track, okay? Even if it's not your card, because you're going to hear information that resonates with you 100%. Every message you hear today is for you, even if I'm pulling the card for someone more specific. Have you guys had that experience? Anyone who's been at this event before, have you had that experience of, oh my gosh, this message is just for me? As a psychic, I channel messages from the collective consciousness. I listen to my guides first. If I pull a card for someone specific, I listen to their card second. But then I'm getting like the whole peanut gallery that's like, oh, by the way, you gotta tell him this. Oh, and she needs to know that. And also throw this out there. And I'm like, okay. It's like when you guys remember The Price is Right? And they're like, $1,000, $1, $800. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. They're yelling at me. They don't yell. Okay. So Catherine, you wanted a general reading. Let's see what the guides have for you. Chelsea says, everything you see was for you to see. Yeah, there's nothing that you can experience that wasn't meant for your deepest healing. Kelly, I am a Capricorn sun. I am an Aquarius rising. And I am a Scorpio moon, and it's fucking intense. Catherine, you've got a new gown coming your way. You got some shopping coming? You're gonna be the belle of the ball. Get you a poem, channel you some guidance for your general reading. Ooh. Weary and consumed by longing, I was caressed by my beloved last night. My wounded soul was set free when I tasted the sweetness of love. My spirit was lifted at once. I surrendered my life while overflowing with joy, and my vision was filled with light. Love said, don't feel so hopeless, my weary and gloomy one, for my generosity is beyond forgetting those devoted to me. See how boundless divine justice can be. Behold my immeasurable kindness. Love embraced my spirit, and all my doubts vanished at once. A new and glorious robe of honor was placed on my shoulders. Love offered me the power of new vision and the transforming touch of divine generosity, and placed the chalice of eternal wine in my hand. Kelly, what does that mean? If it's, let's see, the sun in the 12th house of psychic energy, what does that mean? Okay, so Catherine, the word that really hit my heart was justice when I was reading this. Do you have a sense of, did I say Kelly? Catherine, do you have a sense of injustice right now, or some sort of legal matter that you're trying to figure out, or something that feels like a sense of righteousness, of like, I'm right and you're wrong, or you did something that hurt my feelings and I feel like you need to make amends, and you're not getting a sense of justice from it? And I don't know if this resonates with you or anyone in here at all, but what this poem is offering you is this spiritual ascension of like not giving a shit about the tedious details of human life. The workbook for spiritual development by Hua Ching Mi, one of my favorite lines is, it's tedious being a human. And it is, it's tedious. There's so much communication. The healing never ends. The triggers, constant. So this is offering you a new and glorious robe to put upon your shoulders to step into your queendom. All right, this is what you're being asked to do, is to not give a shit about the little issues that peasant you has to deal with, but to get that bird's eye view of like, I'm running a queendom here. I've got to make sure that everything's at peace, and the only way to do that is to keep yourself at peace. The Tao says government or rulers should I love it when they stop me like that. The Tao said that rulers they should allow people to just do what they want to do without judgment. The Tao says we should trust the people to govern themselves. The people do not require government. So if you're trying to control something that's beyond your control, that's beyond your own physical and auric space, just forget it. Just like, oh, I can't do that. Oh, that's right, I can't do that. And focus on yourself. Catherine, I hope this resonates with you. Samit, are you here? You're looking for a general reading? Samit? Sidita, I'm sorry, I take all my volunteers at the beginning of the session. You're welcome to hire me. I'd love it if you hired me. Go join my circle. I'll tell you exactly how you can hire me, or you can shoot me an email, hi@splendid.yoga. And yeah, oh, and I appreciate your guys' donations. I know the donations button is really buggy, so I appreciate it when you keep going and eventually you give me your money. I love it when that happens. It means I get to come back and do this stuff for free for most of you, right? But I do completely appreciate those of you who are called and of means, are called to donate and are of means. I dropped this card. This card came flying out for you, Sumit. This is your sacred phoenix heart. Let me read you your poem. All right, you can also go sign up for my email list and I will email you a card. If you go click on the link in my profile, it takes me a couple of days to get around to it, but go check it out and I can email you a card. Here's your poem, Sumit. Under the cover of blood, love veils many rose gardens. In total faith, love tenderly guides every lover to the garden of the heart. Reason says the world is limited in 6 directions. There is no way out. Love says there is a way. I've traveled it many times. Let me show you. Come with me. Sumit, you gotta follow your heart. Where are you not following your heart? Where are you letting your head run the show? Are you getting confused about making a decision about something and your heart really wants to follow it, but you have someone else or people in your life who are like, you can't do that. I'm giving you permission to do whatever the hell you want. Do it. As long as it serves your highest good. Your thoughts, they don't know what your highest good is, okay? The stream of consciousness is a stream. It's never ending. Right? So you just kind of learn to, okay, I'm just going to turn down the volume a little bit. We make decisions from down in the body, right? The heart informs a little bit more where you want to be heading in a right direction. But really, it's in the lowest belly that we get that really firm, yep, do that. And that really firm, nope, let's skip that one. And then you skip it and it's like, and then you have this like lingering thing until you realize like, oh, that's why I wasn't supposed to make that decision. Well, I've learned the lesson again. Now I get to make a different decision. So as you're moving through the patterns of your life, Sumit, we invite you to make a different decision because you, my friend, have a sacred phoenix heart and it wants to transform. Look at this card. Look at this art. It wants to transform. You guys can Google this stuff if you want to, but if you go to my blog, my website is splendid.yoga. I have a Rumi card blog where I have all the essays, all these poems, and then they each come with their own essay written by Alana Fairchild. I have snippets of it on my website so you can get additional guidance. And of course, you're always welcome to reach out to me if you're like, this kind of made sense, but this part didn't, in the comments. Or email me or come join me in the circle. We can all talk about it together. Okay, Raji, I would love to give you a reading. You may hire me or come next week and be one of the first 10 people to request a reading in the comments. And then I will pull a card for you. Alternately, you can join my email list by clicking on the link in my profile here on Insight Timer. If you click on my face right here, click follow, then you can go see my profile, or you can search for me under Splendid Yoga. Splendid Yoga. Splendid Yoga. Let me say it a million more times so it's like just deeply embedded into your brain. I want to be like the Coca-Cola of healing work. All right, who do we have next? Sumit, I hope that resonated with you. Thank you for sharing. Holly, you're here. Holly, do you want some general guidance or would you like something specific? And I'll let you guys know, most of these readings I do cold. Sometimes I get some repeat customers, but I have known Holly for a long time. She's a personal friend of mine and she's my Reiki master. So some of the information that comes through will not just be a cold reading, it'll be a little bit of our history. Kelly, I'm glad you think I'm hilarious. All I do is love to make people laugh. I'm a bodhisattva. I came here to ease the suffering of the world while the apocalypse is going on. You're welcome. Sumit, I'm glad that resonated with you. Thank you for being here. You're here, general reading for you, Holly. Okay, let's see what we got. Yeah, I love it when people have the deck as well. If you don't have this deck, this is the only like, it's not tarot, right? It's an oracle card deck, but this is a good one. I stand by it. Oh, this is a good one for you, Holly. Beyond the threshold of fear. We're all dealing with a lot of fear right now, right? It's a scary world. Feels like a scary world. The world is a mirror. Okay. Yoop. Enter the lion's jungle, Holly. Do not think about getting hurt. Fearful thoughts are phantoms of the mind. No one is harmed in this jungle. Everything is compassion and love. It is your fear holding you back, like a bar behind the door. Holly, this one's really interesting for you. I sense this is in relation to your career, that there's something you're wanting to do, that there's an element of fear of being seen that's holding you back. And what we're asking you to do is to examine that fear as not your own, but something that was given to you from an outside source, a mommy issue perhaps. So as you're healing that part of yourself, part of it is going to be doing the uncomfortable thing of being seen, which I see you doing. Holly is one of the teachers here on Insight Timer. She's involved in a course that I have teaching beautiful yoga teachers and Reiki masters like Holly how to build an audience on here. And she's been doing such an incredible job coming on here and teaching yoga. And there's something more that you're being asked to do, and you kind of know what it is, and you're kind of like, I don't know. And so this is the thing that's like, whatever fear is coming in, it's not your fear. So figure out whose fear it is, create that boundary, let go of that energy cord and be like, that one's yours. I'm not dealing with it anymore. And then welcome in, okay, what is it that I want to do, so that it can be a source of excitement. And like, I get to do this thing and it's going to be a little scary. Like a roller coaster is a little scary, but it's going to be a lot of fun, because roller coasters are also really fun for some of us. If you don't like a roller coaster, maybe you're just going for like a smooth walk in the woods, right? Where if you thought it was going to be scary because there are things out there that you can't see, just know that everything's there and it's really friendly. Everything's there to support you. We're all here to support you, Holly, and we're all here to receive what you have to offer, what is being channeled through you. So you're being invited to allow it. Allow the fear to exist. Examine where there's healing to be done, and then just let the excitement come through. And notice the subtle differences between fear and excitement, discomfort of growth, and I'm terrified, I need to get out of here. Because those can be very similar, right? The fear of I am genuinely in danger and need to remove myself from this situation versus I'm being asked to grow and do something that I haven't done before, and it's terrifying because I have no basis of comparison for how this experience is going to go, and it might create pain in my life. Those are two very different physiological processes for the body, because one exists in the parasympathetic nervous system, that's the excitement, and one exists in the sympathetic nervous system, that's the fight or flight. That's the adrenals turn on and you're just like, I gotta get out of here, but I'm frozen. So notice in the body the differences so that you can use that to inform, oh, this is growth versus, oh, this is a threat. I hope this is helpful for you, Holly. I love working with your energy. Do we have TP? TP, I saw that you donated. Thank you. Thank you for your donations. I'm going to clear out the cards here. This is a selenite wand. Let me clear out the energy for you guys, too. It acts like a spiritual Swiffer. It gets all that auric dust out of your way. TP, did you want a general reading, or did you want something more specific that you're looking for? Career. All right. A lot of work stuff coming up. It's interesting because do you guys feel the sense that time is speeding up? Do you guys notice that? Linear time doesn't exist, but you guys feel like the elements of like, Okay, it's August, but it was May a second ago, and somehow it's 2021, but also it was 2020, like 8 breaths ago. um, Yeah, Maya sees it. Raji, that's a great note. Just wanted to let you know I had taken notes on the reading last week and worked on it one by one. Raji, I'd love to know some specifics of what helped you, because when I'm channeling this guidance, I'm not listening to myself. I'm just letting it flow. That's one of the ways that I get my ego out of the way. Every once in a while I tune in and I'm like, that was a good one. But most of the time I'm just like letting it flow. And I go back and watch the recording sometimes. I haven't had time to watch the last few weeks. But I am curious, Raji, what worked for you. So in terms of time speeding up and the career steps, the urgency some of you are feeling of like something needs to change, I'm being asked to do something else. It's because, of the apocalypse energy, the pandemonium, the chaos that we're dealing with right now. If you aren't following your soul aligned path, you are going to be miserable until you do. Your guides will not allow you to waste your time anymore, okay? So don't resist. Resistance, the root of all suffering. TP, let's see what kind of card we got for you. Here it is. You've got some divine discontent, my friend. Let's see what you're working with, TP. Here's your poem. Winter falls upon us, so spring can bring new growth. TP, cry the tears, allow the longing. Sadness brings surrender and a deep desire to be free. TP, are you going through something right now? Are you grieving something or coming out of a loss of some sort? And if so, know that it is for your highest good. Know that any emotion that you're experiencing, allow it to process. Crying is an emotional processing technique. It's one of the ways the body gets water out of the body. And it's one of the ways the body gets emotion out of the body. In the tears, you can actually see the emotion. If you were to put a microscope under the tears of when you're like crying because you're laughing so hard versus crying because you're really upset versus crying because you're really angry, the molecular structure of that water actually looks different. You can see it in a microscope. Google it. It's fascinating. So when you're crying, you have to allow yourself to cry. You have to allow the emotion to flow through you without shame, without holding back at all. And often in the Western culture, especially where we're like, don't feel your emotions, numb them with caffeine, alcohol, alcohol, and sex. That's what we tell you to do in the Western culture. All you really have to do as a human being to enjoy your spiritual ascension is feel your feelings, because the emotional experience is a spiritual experience, all right? Spiritual evolution comes from the processing of emotion, otherwise known as healing. When we say healing, that's what I mean. You're processing emotion. That's what your body is doing. Emotion, right? Energy in motion, okay? Kelly, I'm glad you appreciate the science. Yes, I study this stuff because I have to learn how to communicate it to you guys in a language that you'll understand, and a lot of you are really left-brained. Holly says you also release cortisol through your tears. Yeah. So there's a bunch of different stuff that comes out of your body. It's no different from sweating when you exercise. In fact, it's just as crucial as sweating, right? You have to sweat for like 20 minutes every day at least in order for your body to feel really healthy. And you should probably cry for 20 minutes a day. I do. I'm always hoping it's from laughter, and sometimes it is, but usually it's just because the world sucks. So allow yourself to cry, whatever it takes. You'll go into therapy if you have a hard time crying, TP. I hope this resonates with you. Earth Chelsea, Earth to Chelsea. Is Chelsea here? Here's Raji, beautiful. Tears means I should probably let go. Yeah, is there a person in your life you need to let go of? It's probably time. Yeah, just a general reading for Chelsea, beautiful. Raji says, you worked on the upset I had when you were in the womb. Ooh, beautiful. And I meditated and found it in my leg and released it. I had this feeling in my leg for the past 2 years, and I let it go from my body during the last week. I also worked on forgiving myself. Can I give you a little round of applause with my new instrument? Here's a round of applause for you. Well done. Can that be your little healing theme song? Kind of sounds like you guys remember the movie Grease? And they're doing like the school announcements and the ladies playing the thing badly. All right, never mind. Chelsea loves a good cry. Who doesn't love a good cry? I love a good shower cry. I love a good car cry. I love all the cries. I'm a public crier, much to my family's disapproval. They're like, oh my God, an emotion. And I'm like, well, if you guys aren't processing it, I have to do all of it. Okay. Let's see. What have we got? Who am I working on? Who have we got? Chelsea. There she is. Just the general reading. The general reading for Chelsea. Beautiful. Okay, nothing specific. Let's see. Yeah, it is the best thing to cry a lot. I love it when people tell me they're in therapy. I'm like, be my friend. And I love it when people tell me they're emotional people. I'm like, me too. We're all emotional people. Just not all of us are in touch with it. Earth, arise. This is a great one for the apocalypse, because I say the apocalypse and some people think it's the end of the world, but it's really just the end of human presence on this world, which isn't a bad thing at all, because our energy still gets to be here, just not in this consciousness, which, let's face it, kind of sucks. Just so many limits to the human ego, you know? It's an element of mastery to get through this world as a human that's required for spiritual ascension, but once the humans are gone, that means we've all ascended, which is great. It's going to be great when the humans are gone. But the concept of like the earth arising, this is what I love about it, because this is like the sacred phoenix heart of the earth. But for you, Chelsea, let's see how this resonates. Wings of hope languish from lack of use. Ruh-roh. When wings dissipate and weaken, life begins to lose its value. Every cell in your body is created to rise to challenges. Your life is meant to confront everything that holds you captive. Don't sit at the bottom of the well, not caring about salvation. Listen to the voice within calling to you. Reach for eminence beyond your own maturity. Chelsea, Earth, Chelsea. This is such a, this is such a beautiful invitation for you to step into an element of self-mastery that you have not yet stepped into. It's just a matter of, reach for eminence beyond your own maturity. So this is like, you get to experience the quantum leap of spiritual evolution if you so choose. And the very direct message is, listen to the voice. Listen to the voice within calling to you. So whatever it takes to dive deeper into that intuition, right? So taking the time with your silent meditation, different from guided meditation, silent meditation, doing your own thing, 20 minutes for the thoughts to think themselves and then settle away, 20 minutes to turn your ears internally, and then 20 minutes just to listen to the messages that come through. 60 minutes of meditation every morning, starting at 3:33 in the morning. That's your homework. That's the message I have for you. If you want your spiritual ascension, that's when you're going to get the messages. 3:33 in the morning, wake up, meditate for an hour. Congratulations, you're a monk. It's fun. I do it. I did it this morning. I did it yesterday morning. I don't do it every morning, but there are times when the spirits / Spike, my dog, wake me up, often in an angel hour, and I'll be like, all right, what have you got for me? An example, earlier this week, I woke up at 3:33 and I just knew there was an important message coming through, and I just sat with it. And the message that came through, some of you know I lived in Mexico for a few months last year, and I was living on a graveyard. I didn't realize that going into it, but I got there and I was like, what are all those crosses? I was living on a cliff on the ocean, and people had fallen or jumped to their death, and a few animals had died there as well. And a bunch of the spirits were still hanging out there, and they were like wanting me to help them, and they were freaking my dog out. So I had to learn how to put up these incredible energetic boundaries and figure out it was like a line of spirits out the door every night. All right, what do you got? What karma are we working through here? Or it was like Beetlejuice, like no, it's not quite like that. But it was the message that came through for me at that time was like, this is the path where you need to go. You are here to help people ascend spiritually, not just in the 3D realm, but in the spirit realm as well. And so that is work that I'm now being called to do. Literally, people stop me on the street and are like, can you help me? And I'm like, yeah, okay, what are you working on? So I give that to you as an example of like, really big messages that are going to come through that then you need to look for evidence in your regular life of being like, oh, that's what that meant, and that's what that meant. Keep a journal and tell me how it goes. I'd love to keep in touch and know how this next layer of spiritual ascension goes for you. All right. So that was for Earth. We have Alicia. We have Alicia in here. Alicia. I hope that was helpful for you, Chelsea. That was so spot on for so many reasons. Excellent. Do you guys know this means applause in American Sign Language? That's why I do this all the time. It's applause in sign language. Louise might try that. Yeah, 3:33 gets me most mornings, but you've not been able to make sense of what is being passed on. So try this, Louise. Wake up and chant Om until you feel clear. And then the answer, it doesn't come from the thoughts. The answer comes from here. This inexhaustible source. Your connection to your spirituality is actually lower than we realize, right? Okay, so listen for the message coming from down here. And you can ask very clearly, chant Om many times, and then ask, what's the message? And if you're still not getting it, Louise, hire me, and I will teach you how to channel the messages, and I can also just give you the message. I'll be your spiritual secretary. How about that? Okay, Alicia, you would like to know about your home with your partner and your family. That you're open and grateful for anything that comes through. I love that. I love the idea of home. Home doesn't exist as a physical structure. This place where I'm staying right now, this isn't my home. I've owned houses before, still not home. I grew up in a house, that wasn't home. You know, I've had various different families, still not home. Home is within. In fact, most of us here, I would assume, we are not home on this planet. We are traveling here on this planet. Has anyone felt just like throughout their life incredibly homesick and you don't know why? You've just been like, I just want to go home, but I am home and I don't really get it. Has anyone else felt that way? You can hit the hearts, or you can say me in the comments. Yeah, Jackie, yep, Kelly. Yeah, well, that's because you're an alien. That's because you have a home planet somewhere else. I can tell you which one if you want to work with me. There's a few of them that I work with. Holly, yeah, Maya, Louise, yeah. So it's not all of us, but some of us are, we're starseeds. We're light workers. We came here to observe, the evolution of the earth, just kicking humans off of it, and to ease the suffering of humanity. That's my personal mission. Not everyone came here with that mission. That's my personal mission, to ease the suffering of humanity as a bodhisattva. This is a Buddhist term. I'm a Buddhist. This is what I practice. Claire, every day. Me too. This is what I cry about most days. It's like, I just want to go home. I didn't know it was going to be so hard. And my guys are like, yeah, you did. I got your contract right here. Look, it said right here, heartbreak. This was supposed to, you said, you wrote this script, dude. You wrote this script. And I'm like, can I rewrite it? And they're like, you have free will, but I mean, you made this decision for a reason. Yeah, Alicia has felt this way. Yeah. So remember, own yourself, own your decisions, own your life, own your traumas as what needed to happen, not as punishment, but as what needed to happen for you to get so sick of your own bullshit that you took the path of the spiritual seeker to understand, wait a minute, there's something else going on here. What is it? What's going on? It's not, like, this isn't real. This, me, right here, I'm not real. I'm a screen. I'm an avatar. I'm basically time traveling right now. None of this is real. You know what's real? Feelings. Feelings are the only thing that keep us connected to our body. That's why the emotional experience is a spiritual experience. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so Alicia, let's see. I haven't pulled the card for you yet, so let me actually pull the card for you. Kelly, I remember being on a moonbeam, decided to come back, and I'm like, for fuck's sake, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. I love that. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, and you're like, what? This wasn't how it was last time. What have you guys done with the place since I was here last? Yeah, TP, own your decisions. And forgive yourself for not knowing how fucking hard it was going to be. Because all of this is hard. Alicia, let's see what we can make easier for you with your home. That was a big segue into the victory of Miriam. I like this one for you. I like victoriousness when it comes to family and home life. If you are longing to caress the moon, don't turn away from it. If you are not ill, why do you crawl under a blanket to hide? You are in a quarry of sweets. Why do you look so sour? You live in the spring of life. Why are you withered inside? Don't fight against yourself. Don't flee from what could be your glory. Like a fearless moth, dive into the flame. Why be linked to your obsessions? Burn out in the flames until your heart and soul are enlightened. Get out of the old carcass and form yourself a new body. Why are you afraid of a fox when you descend from lions? Why be a lame donkey when you have the strength of stallions? The beloved you seek will arrive to open the door to your fortune, for love is the key that opens all your locks. I love this for you, Alicia. There's a sense that maybe you're putting a little too much stress and expectation into what this is supposed to be, into how your life is supposed to look and feel. And I wonder what it's going to take to shift you to just being so grateful for how it is, knowing that it's always going to change, knowing that you can set the intention for yourself of doing the deep healing to change it so that you're rooted in your mind, body, spirit alignment, so that everything you do in a day just feels like it moves with ease. You feel completely confident in all of your decisions. You have no doubt that you are on the correct path. You can make no mistakes. You have no regrets. You are self-actualized. That's what you're being asked to do. So when you're asking about this in relationship to home and family, you're using your home and you're using your family to define yourself, and they are not you. In the Western world, we think of it as like, oh, my other half, oh, my family, oh, I live for my children. Get it out of here. No, they're just characters in your life, and you're a character in their life, but you're here to experience your own healing. And you can't do anything to help them with their deep healing, right? And that's not to say like run away from your family, of course not. But if you're defining yourself and your core values and your meaning exclusively by these external things, it's got to start from like, I am whole and complete, and anything I do above and beyond that is like bonus. So give yourself some credit for what you've created, appreciate it, express gratitude for it every day without expectation that it will change. And that will allow it to change in the way that will best serve you. I hope that's helpful. That was a good one. I tuned into that one. That was a good, I needed to hear that too. Reflect upon that. Okay, Maya, do we have Maya in here? There's something about home that you're attached to that needs to be resolved. General reading for Maya. All right, my dear, let's see what we've got for you. Hello, Axel. Hello, everyone. Let's see. We've got 109 people in here. That's fun. My name is Morgan. I'm Splendid Yoga here on this app and elsewhere. I'm doing these readings today. I do them almost every Friday. I took a few weeks off because we all deserve a break to travel through the desert, get away from LA for a few days. But I'm back and I'm working. If you guys want to hire me to do either a Rumi card reading or we can do a psychic channeling for you, I would be happy. I would be love to work with anyone who joins me for these events. You can join me in my circle. I'll tell you how you can do that after I'm done with this event. And you can join my email list. That'll get you a Rumi card. What else can you do? You can give me money. You can donate. I like a donation. Thank you. You can hit the heart button. I like the hearts too. The hearts are free. You don't have to pay for them. You just hit them and they just, a whole heart parade explodes and it's so fun. I just love it. I love when the hearts go off. Okay, Maya, your general reading. Let's see what you got. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Not those. This is an interesting one. This reminds me of, I have a scarab beetle that comes and visits me every single day. I have a lot of spirit animals in this world. I have a lot of different totems in this world that communicate with me. And the scarab has been just hilarious because he's almost like a bumblebee. Like he comes zooming up to my penthouse apartment and then kind of bonks against my window a few times and like waves his little paw and then, leg. And then he just kind of bounces and scurries his way off to the next, whoever he has to visit next. And I just kind of wave at him. One time he came in and I had to help him outside. They're beautiful animals, but this reminds me of my scarab friend. So here's your poem for Maya. I have abolished duality from myself. I have seen the two worlds as one. One I seek, one I know, one I see, and one I call. So this is that wholeness that I was talking about, right? So rather than thinking of yourself as like, masculine, feminine, yin, yang. That's how the human mind separates the energies of the world. But the energies of the world are just energy. They're whole and complete just as they are. It's only the human brain that compartmentalizes things and sees them as separate. Nothing else sees this as a separate experience. Nothing else sees, differences between us. Have you guys ever seen a murmuration? Like the sparrows, the huge clouds of birds that just like form and ooze and just look like a math equation, right? Like this is how I'm like, oh yeah, we are definitely in a matrix. This is definitely a simulation. But that's kind of like the wholeness, just seeing that fluidity of how like the birds aren't communicating. This is not rehearsed. They're going off pure instinct. That's where you're being asked to work, Maya, is just working with that innate oneness, that interconnectedness, and anything that creates the idea of division in your life is a lie. Let me say it again. This is straight from the ancient texts, the Yoga Sutras. Anything that creates division in your life is a goddamn lie. It is a lie, okay? There is no difference between you and I, only the illusion of difference, so that we can heal whatever karmic stuff we have to heal. And you're doing it. The next layer, remove the elements of duality, step into your wholeness. It's a fun journey, Maya. I hope this resonates with you. Divya, I got your last on my list here. Divya, that is exactly what I needed to hear. I love it when that happens. You are healing, and you're doing it perfectly. Anonymous, you can hire me if you'd like a general reading. I take all my volunteers at the beginning of the session. Join me next week. Get here right at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Be one of the first 10 people to ask for a card. You can't just say hi. That doesn't count. I have to have consent for these things. And then I will pull a card for you, or you just hire me. You just pay for it, okay? Divya, love and relationships. Let's see what we got. It's nice. It's nice to pay for things that you appreciate. That exchange of money ties into patriarchal capitalism, which is, of course, one of my missions to destroy. One of the reasons I came here, in addition to ease the suffering of humanity, destroying patriarchal capitalism. It's pretty fun. But while we're working within the construct of capitalism, putting your money towards the things that you value and not just the things that you think you have to pay for, right, really shifts the energy in your world. Whew, it's pretty powerful. All right, Divya, looking for some love and relationship advice. Let's see what we got for you. Here she is. Ooh, this is a fun one. The whirling goddess. I just saw you like at a ball, like Pride and Prejudice, like having, a glorious dance. Okay. Here's your poem. Lose your head, not a single thread that has a head can go through the eye of the needle. Is this a new relationship, Divya, that you're entering into, or are you curious about a new relationship that you want to come your way? Either way, you're thinking about it too much. You got to get out of your head. You got to get into your heart. Feel your body. All right? Feel in your heart, what does it feel like? If there's someone in your life who opens your heart up and makes it feel like expansion, and it's like, this is a little scary, but it's also exciting, right? That's what I was talking about with Holly, is the difference between like growth excitement and fear survival. They can feel very similar because they tend to happen in the same spot, right? But if you're actually paying attention, they feel very different. Right? Because there's like the butterfly of like, ooh, I wonder what's going to happen. And then there's the fear of like, oh, what's going to happen? and learning that difference it just makes dating so much easier. But in terms of how you can use this for whatever's going on in your love and relationships, here's a line that stands out from the essay by Alana Fairchild. Don't place too much stock in the claims that life should be other than it is. Life is just as it should be, which is to say that it is always changing. You are being asked to dance rather than understand, to lay the thoughts to rest and come alive. So maybe there's something going on about like you're dealing with maybe your parental expectations of what a relationship should be, societal expectations of what a relationship should be, and your heart is telling you, well, this is what a relationship is, and you're like, are you sure? And it's like, yeah, and you're like, but how do I? And it's like, I don't know. So, so you just gotta go dance your dance. You gotta dance like no one's watching, right? But dance like everyone's watching and they're loving it. And they're like, more. Learn how to enjoy showing your world your love because they'll love you even more for it. Divya, I hope that resonates with you. That's it. That's it for me, friends. My name is Morgan. I'm Splendid Yoga here on this app. Do me a favor. Give me a follow. Click on my face. Follow me. I like it when my numbers go up. Click the link in my profile. Go check out all my other stuff. I have a million amazing programs for you. Some of them are free. Literally a million. No, I have like 12 programs for you. Most of them are free. You can donate if you want to. I know it's kind of buggy sometimes. Do me a favor. If you donated, could you let me know either in the comments or shoot me a message so that if it doesn't come through, I can contact Insight Timer and be like, what's going on, guys? Where's my money? I would appreciate that. And I appreciate all of you. We got 130. Thank you, Holly. Thank you. I appreciate you. You got 137 people in here. That's amazing for a Friday. I do love Insight Timer. That's why it's so worth it to come on here. Even though every once in a while, like it's a little buggy, it's all right. It's just the nature of life. We're all working through it. We're doing great. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you for your donation. I will confirm that those came through. And what else? Do we have any, let's see. How about one word for how you're feeling right now? What's one word for how you're feeling right this very second? Thank you, Alice, for your donation. I appreciate that. Kelly, you're welcome. It's a gift that I have, and I truly love sharing it with all of you. Let's see, we've got Kelly feeling, yes, we got a lot of gratitude here. Jade is appreciative. Ro, gratitude. Kelly, gratitude. Susan's feeling grateful. Maya's grateful for me for everything I do. Oh, that's wonderful. I love that. I can make no mistakes. Excellent. No, I made some mistakes. There's still a human being happening here. All right. I've just studied ways to make life easier. That's the only reason my life looks easy. It's not. Hello, Beth. Nice to see you. All right, my dears, go get yourself some selenite. Cleanse your energy. Let's do it again. Let's cleanse the energy. Allowing the selenite to sweep up everything that we don't need for the next phase of our life. Holly's feeling thoughtful and grateful. Beautiful, Holly. Yes. Okay, my dears. I hope you have a beautiful weekend. It's Friday. Is it Friday? It is Friday. Yes. I'm an entrepreneur, so weekends don't exist in my world. Fortunately, I love everything that I do. So I wake up every day excited to go teach yoga, meditation, to work with my clients, to work with my business coaching clients. I love it. You too can have a life that you love. I promise. You can wake up and be so excited for your day and just love everything that you do that day and still leave room for the spectrum of emotion that is the human experience. Because just because I wake up excited for most of my day doesn't mean that like I don't still have to pay my taxes every once in a while. You know what I mean? We still live in a world where we have to do some things that were like, maybe not by choice, but I can make a choice to love what I'm doing, even if it's something that I feel obligated to do instead of something that I'm choosing to do. So I offer that to you. Kelly, 8 p.m. on Friday, time to put on your PJs and turn on a movie. It's time for introvert night. All right, my dears. I'll be back next week. I'm on here live twice a day, Monday through Friday. I look forward to seeing you soon. If you're in Los Angeles, come practice yoga with me. I teach yoga at Shefa Yoga here in Venice. And then in a few weeks, I'll be teaching up in Santa Barbara. I teach at the University of California, Santa Barbara. I teach yoga up there. And I invite the general public in. You can come for free. It's like more yoga, the better. College should be free for everybody anyway. So I'm just like, just come on in. So if you want to come to my yoga class, let me know. I'll tell you how to get there. Steve, thank you for being here. Bye, guys. Have a great weekend. Hey, by the way, you're doing a great job. I see you. I see the work that you're doing, and you're doing such a good job. You're doing it perfectly, and I am so grateful that you're doing the work, because it can't just be me. It can't just be me, right? No, there's more of us. There's so many of us. All right, my dears, have a beautiful day. Mwah.